Okay, so this was taken from the 2015 and it's the pre-exam, and my own reference is DEB. So it's Leave Insert Ordinary Level, it's paper 1 and it's question 9. Okay, so in 2014, 5 people represented Ireland at the Winter Olympics. So that sentence is irrelevant to the question. One of these took part in snowboarding. Irrelevant to the question. This event consists of a series of jumps. Okay, so none of that is relevant to the question really. Okay, so that there is irrelevant. So the curved surface of a jump ramp is modelled by the shape of a quadratic function. And the function is given by the formula h equals. H is the height, okay, and x is the horizontal distance from it. So, what we want to do is complete the table below, showing the height at the indicated points. So the first one is when x is 0. So when x is 0, we have 0 squared minus 6 times 0 plus 9, which will give you 9. Okay, and so on. When x is 1, 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 9 is equal to, so 1 squared is 1, take 6 is minus 5, plus 9 is 4. So 4. When x is 2, 2 squared minus 6 times 2 plus 9 is equal to 1. Okay? And you can use your calculator for this if it has that function for the table. When x is 3, 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 9 is equal to 0. When x is 4, 4 squared is 16, 6 times 4 is 24, so minus 8 plus 9 is equal to 1. And when x is 5, 5 squared is 25, 6 times 5 is minus 30, plus 9 is equal to 4. So that's your set of points, okay, in the table, and that there is out of 10 marks for yourself. Okay, so that gives you an idea how many you got out of 10. Alright, so you're looking for, say, if you did anything correct, you'd have, if you get nothing correct, it'll be 4. If you get anything, or if you get 1 correct, it'll be just 4 marks. Sorry, if you get nothing, it'll be 0. If you got 2 or 3 of these values here, you get 6. 4 or 5 of them, you get 8, and you get all 10 out of 10 if it's correct. Now you want to draw the graph. So using the points, we're going to plot the points on the graph. So the first one is 0 up to 9, 1 up to 4, so 1 up to 4, 2 up to 1, 3 0, 4 1, and 5 back up to 4. So your function, when you join your function, will look something like this. So as neat as you can without using a ruler, and that's your function. Okay, so that's h of x with a as the origin, and for that then again it's out of 10. So your total there, part A plus part B is equal to out of 20. Alright, so that's a guide for you there. Again, it's marked as follows: 0 if you get nothing correct. If you only put 1 point correctly, it's 4. 2 or 3 points will get you 6. 4 or 5 points will get you 8. And all correct will get you 10. Okay? However, if you use a ruler, equals 8 out of 10. Okay? not joined is also equal to 8 out of 10. Okay, so that gives you a guide as to out of the 20 marks. Now, that's part A and B. Part C. To enable a snowboarder get good air, so i.e. to get up high in the air, the slope should be almost vertical. Okay, so you know what vertical means. Vertical is straight. So, like so. Vertical is straight, up or down. So you want to find dh dx, and you know that h is x squared minus 6x plus 9. So dh dx is the derivative, okay, which is equal to, so you're going to multiply by the power, so 2x to the power of 1 minus 6x and reduce the power becomes 0, which is equal to 2x minus 6. Okay, and for that derivative you have 5 more marks. Okay, and if you get anything correct, so even if you differentiate just 9, you'd get 2 marks out of 5. Okay, so that's the way that's marked for you. Now, for part 2, does the ramp meet the slope criteria? Give a reason for your answer. Okay, so the snowboarder, to get good air, and to get good air, the slope at the takeoff point should be almost vertical. Okay, now the slope at the takeoff should be almost vertical. You look at the graph here. This is the slope at the takeoff. So you start here. So this is takeoff here. Okay? So your takeoff. Okay? Now, or takeoff. This is the takeoff. Okay? Now, so it has to be almost vertical. Now, if you look at this here, that is not vertical, but it's pretty straight. Okay? So I would say the slope has to be almost vertical. Your answer is yes. Okay? So the slope, which is your derivative, 2x minus 6. Okay? So if we put that at x equal to 0, okay, is equal to 2 times 0 minus 6 is minus 6. So the slope at takeoff is equal to minus 6. Okay, which is pretty close to vertical. Okay, so that angle there is pretty close to 90 degrees. All right, and that is out of 5 marks. All right, so if you just give a reason there, it's marked 0, 2, 5 again. Okay. Now for part D, and we're going to read the question carefully here. The slope of the in-run, which is the downward section, allows snowboarders to build up a speed, is a half. Okay, so the slope is a half. So to achieve a smooth transition, the run-in is tangential to the curved surface of the jump ramp. So we want to find the coordinates of the point at which the run-in is a tangent. Okay, so we know that we have the slope and we know what the slope is. So the slope is your derivative. 2x minus 6 is equal to a half. Okay, because it tells us in the question slope equals a half, and the slope is the derivative. So in this case here we have 2 times 2x minus 6, get rid of the fraction, is equal to 1. 4x minus 12 is equal to 1. 4x is equal to 1 plus 12. 4x is equal to 13. So x is equal to 13 over 4. Okay, so we want the coordinates of the point. So we have x, and then we know that x squared minus 6x plus 9. So 13 over 4 to be squared minus 6 times 13 over 4 plus 9, and use your calculator. So type that in on your calculator. So brackets 13 over 4 2b squared minus 6 bracket 13 over 4 plus 9 is equal to, and the answer we get is 1 over 16. So our coordinates are 13 over 4 and 1 over 16. Okay, and that part there again is out of 10. So if you just let the derivative equal to a half, so if you just did this in the exam, slope is a half, you'd get 4 out of 10. Okay, if you get x equal to 13 over 4, you get 7 out of 10, and finally 10 out of 10. Okay, so on the coordinate plane, show the line that represents the run-in. Okay, so on our graph, we'll go back to our graph. So the run-in, we have 13 over 4, which is 3.75, which is here, and 1 over 16, so pretty small. So the coordinates are somewhere along, so 3 and it goes here. So you want the tangent here. So the tangent is going to look something like so. That's the in run. Okay, that's the point. 13 over 4 or 3.25 and 1 over 16, which is pretty tiny. Okay, so that there is the coordinates of the point. Okay, now find the equation of the line. So we know that the slope is equal to a half, and we know the point. Now we can find the equation. Okay, so y minus 1 over 16 is equal to a half x minus 13 over 4, which is equal to y minus 1 over 16 is equal to a half x minus 13 over 8. Okay, and it's made more difficult there by the fractions. Okay, so it doesn't say we need to simplify, so minus a half x plus y minus 1 over 16 plus 13 over 8 is equal to 0. So minus a half x plus y and minus 1 over 16 plus 13 over 8 is equal to 25 over 16 is equal to 0. And And that then is the equation out of 10 marks. Okay, so it's made more difficult there. So it's more complex, and in particular because of fractions. Okay, and that's the difference between a mock exam and a real exam paper. In a real exam, I would hazard to say that you, at ordinary level, you'd never get ones with fractions like that. If it was, it'd be just say maybe a half, 3/4, but it wouldn't be difficult fractions like these here. Okay.